And Live to Lead Ottawa is coming back, brought to you by Nesbitt Training. We're going to get all the details right now with Mark Nesbitt of Nesbitt Training. And it's good to have you back on our program again.
Thanks for having me.
Nice to see you. So let's talk about Nesbitt Training. 6 years now?
Yeah, so I've been in business for 6 years, and I literally kind of work all over Ontario and Quebec, and started to dabble a little bit in the States. Actually with teaching people leadership skills. I try to, as far as I know, I'm the only person who actually spent time in the construction industry, we'll say, that's gone back to the industry to teach leadership. So I've got some industry skills, and I kind of talk their talk.
Okay, Live to Lead happening Friday, November 1st, the Bridge. Now, this event has been around as long as Nesbitt Training has been around.
That's right. The first year I actually started in business, I hosted it. The first year I did it at the War Museum. However, you know, the Bridge is if you've never been there, it's an awesome venue for a simulcast event like this, and lots of seats. There's certainly no shortage of seats.
That's good. Now, why is there such a need for leadership in our community?
That's a good question, Dylan. I don't think there's ever been a greater need for leadership. Just look around. You know, see the debate last night or whatever, no matter where you see, you can see, we'll call it maybe poor leadership. I really believe leadership, you know, I got to start with myself, and it also begins in the home too.
Well, everybody has the ability to be a leader? Because some people might be a little introverted, thinking they can't do this.
You know, the funny thing is, especially if you follow any of the Toyota training stuff, they typically kind of point out that, you know, to be a leader, you don't need to be charismatic. You know, leading somebody is just influencing them to do something. You know, getting them to do something they normally would not do on their own.
Okay. If you change your life, you change your thoughts, like everything will change. Well,
yes, it's interesting. So I mentioned to one of my friends earlier, you know, if you look at mental health today, mental health is a big issue. I'm by no means an expert on it, but I do believe that, you know, we can only think of one thing at a time, and it's impossible to think of two things at the same time. And if we change what we think about, of course, the day is going to, you know, change. So this, you go to an event like this, I can promise you it's going to be life-changing. You leave there with a positive attitude, and you know, when you leave there kind of with a positive attitude, with a spring in your step, it's pretty hard to get depressed.
That's good. Now I know you want to save all the good stuff for your event, but you're going to give us a few tips on how you can become a leader? Yes.
Well, the first thing you got to do is accept that you got to work on yourself. You know, no matter how hard I try, I can't turn you into a leader. All I can do is change me. So I got to work on me. And you know, with this event we're hosting, there's you know, it's amazing the speakers we have this year. Like, you know, we've got you know, there's John Maxwell, of course. There's Marcus Buckingham, Chris Hogan, who's kind of big on kind of investing your money. But the one I really think is going to be a hit is going to be Rachel Hollis, who's amazing. Like, she's kind of like a Tony Robbins. But Angela Arendt, she actually headed up the kind of the changeover with Apple Retail. So there's a lady who's kind of, you know, she was a leader. She went in, she did something, turned a company around, made it better, and now she's back kind of sharing how she did it. So she's the real deal.
So obviously those are some pretty big examples of how becoming a leader can change your world. But what can it really amount to? Just the average everyday person?
Anybody can go. Anybody can learn to lead. It's one of those things that just, you got to have the desire to do it. It's like, if you switch, as Jim Rohn used to say, you know, if you switch from a Hershey bar to an apple, it's going to make a difference. And the first thing we got to do is decide, hey, look, sometimes it's listen to a podcast, going to an event like this. But the thing is, you really don't get, you know, to learn how to lead in an academic school. Like, you know, if you go to school, they don't teach you, right? It's management. It's all good about management. But there's a difference in leading and managing.
Okay. Aside from the amazing speakers, it's a half day of leadership. And what else is taking place at the Bridge?
Well, there's a lot of networking. You can, you know, meet some similar people, some similar thoughts. You'd be surprised how you get some business connections there. It's nice to be around a bunch of people that think the same and heading in the same direction. You want to make their life better.
Now, as far as Nesbitt Training is concerned, I mean, you can learn about coaching, training, keynote speaking at your website.
Yes.
That's a good place to go to find out more resources on what you do.
NesbittTraining.ca. It's you can actually get tickets there. We've got a special on this weekend. We can get 2-for-1 tickets. Actually use the code word BOGO, and you get buy one, get one free.
Oh, that's cool. That's a Thanksgiving gift.
It is.
For sure.
Give the gift of leadership for Thanksgiving.
And you're really going to make some meaningful connections if you check out this event.
That's right.
It's not a wasted half day at all.
No, it's not. And I've never, there's people who have went to an event. I went to an event like this 15 years ago, and it changed my life.
Yeah.
And, you know, I often hear people at the end of the event, because I've done it 5 times now, who would look up and say, hey, look at this, it's amazing, you know, this changed my life, I can leave here. And, you know, you get to hear these success stories all the time.
Amazing. Live to Lead Ottawa, Friday, November 1st, the Bridge. Thank you, Mark Nesbitt, for being here. It's going to be a great event. Happy Thanksgiving. Take care.